I was elected to serve in this chamber 30 years ago this year, and I'm deeply grateful to our 6 honorees today for inviting me to come back and to participate in this ceremony. Before we begin with the taking of the oaths of office, I think it would be appropriate to also recognize 3 very special people who are in the chamber today. Our great citizen legislator, Bob Riley. The man who has always taught us and will continue to teach us about our rich history, Jack McEnany. And the person who rose to be the highest-ranking upstate Democrat in the New York State Legislature, Majority Leader Ron Canestrari. And now on to the main event. Pat Fahy is a veteran of service in both the federal and the state governments. As many of you know, she has also served locally as a school board leader and president of the Albany Board of Education. And I must say, as someone who sponsored and voted for gender equality education throughout his career and the father of 4 daughters, I'm very proud of the fact that Albany will finally be represented in this chamber by a woman. And the oath of office for Pat Fahy will be administered by the Honorable John J. McEnany.
Repeat after me.
I, Patricia Fahy,
do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States.
do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of New York.
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
And to faithfully discharge the duties
and to faithfully discharge the duties
of Member of Assembly of the 109th District.
of member of the Assembly of the 109th District.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you. Thank you, Assemblyman McEnany, for administering the oath today and for the help and guidance you've given me over these last few months. I look forward to building on your legacy of advocacy for this 109th Assembly District. I thank my husband, Wayne Beckett, and my children, Brendan and Eileen, for their support throughout this very long campaign. I am truly honored and humbled to be here today. I'm deeply grateful to each of you that helped propel me forward and make this possible. The generosity, the thoughtfulness, the selflessness of so many of you here today had no bounds. It all added up, and it demonstrated that a grassroots campaign like mine, along with a positive message, can still win and win big. A special thanks to those of you here today from the 109th District, and that is those in the City of Albany and the towns of Bethlehem, Guilderland, and New Scotland. I look so forward to working with each of you. I am deeply aware of the history we are making today, and I could not be more proud to stand before you as the first woman to hold this Albany seat. New York State, as many of you know, is my adopted home, and I could not be more proud to live here. But it's special to me because it is in the New York City harbor that many of you know my parents first arrived in this country. I know they could not have envisioned that their daughter would join the New York State Assembly some 60+ years later. It is through their hard work and sacrifice in this land of opportunity that my parents were able to achieve one version of the American dream. And I hope to be a voice for all immigrants, past, present, and future, and the refugees who work so hard to seek that dream that is so unique to this country of ours. I stand on the shoulders of generations of immigrants. My parents, Nicholas and Eileen Fahy, my aunts, my uncles, who arrived in this country with two simple goals: a job with decent wages and a chance of a better life for their children through education. These are truly universal goals, which I hope to continue to advocate for, because these are the goals we need to keep within reach for all. I also stand on the generations of women, the shoulders of generations of women who have been such role models for me, especially my sisters and my aunts who believed in me and encouraged me throughout my life. Finally, I stand on the shoulders of two terrific Albany Common Council women, Leah Golby and Kathy Fahy, not related, who urged me to jump into this race and helped me every step of the way. I will work to ensure that New York continues its tradition as a leader on critical issues facing our nation. New York has often been the first among equals in solving our nation's problems, and we need to keep that tradition alive. Jobs and affordable education help to transform my family, and it's why I'm such a fierce advocate for our schools, along with being a very proud parent of 2 children in the Albany public schools. I will push to improve education while fighting increased burdens on our already overburdened property taxpayers, but also work to support our teachers and not make sure they're not scapegoated but supported. I'll work to ensure that New York also continues its tradition as a leader in our nation on gun control. Enough is enough. Yeah. Let's get these guns. Let's get the guns and assault weapons off of our streets. I'll work to ensure that New York continues to be a leader in increasing the minimum wage. What is good for our lowest wage workers is good for local economies, because these dollars have solid multiplier effects in our local communities. I'll work to see that New York remains a leader in women's reproductive health, because strong, healthy women are essential to ensuring strong, healthy families. I'll work to ensure that New York remains a leader in safeguarding the environment, to do all we can to build for the future and prevent the damage from environmental disasters such as Superstorm Sandy and Hurricane Irene. I'll work to ensure that New York State becomes a leader in campaign finance reform, to bring some sanity back to elections and to minimize the influence of money and corruption in government. There is much that needs to be done. I congratulate each of my new colleagues. I look forward to working with them and working together. I believe that there is much we can accomplish for this region. I dedicate these next 2 years to my children and yours, and to all the youth of this region and this state. They are the future. All investments made in this state must be made with our youth in mind. On a personal note, I also dedicate these next 2 years to my late brother, Patricia Fahy, who so deeply influenced my life and my work. The work I do in these next 2 years will also be in his memory. Thank you for joining us here today. The best thanks I can give to each of you is to work my heart out on behalf of this 109th district, and I wish each of you a very healthy and peaceful, a most peaceful new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Next up is the so-called River District, because it consists of the communities along the Hudson River in Albany and Rensselaer counties. It might also be called the Lucky 13 District, because I was elected to that seat after 13 years as town supervisor and mayor of Green Island. Ron Canestrari was elected to the seat after 13 years as mayor of Cohoes. And John McDonald was elected after 13 years as mayor of Cohoes. And John is just, for all of you who know him, is just a terrific person, the past president of the New York State Conference of Mayors, a very successful businessman, and just an all-around great guy from a great family. And the oath of office to John McDonald will be administered by the Honorable Ron Canestrari, Majority Leader of the New York State Assembly. Come on, kids. Mom and Dad.